B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East coast to the west, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading to Salt Lake City, home of the Mormons, Utah Jazz, and one of the hardest MCs out there. Like Stockton to Malone, he passes the mic back and forth to spit wicked rhymes. Today, we take a walk on the dark side with Rekt Hearse. What's up, man?
What's up? I love the intro. That was really cool.
Thanks.
It is the home of Mormons, definitely is.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, I was even born and raised, not by choice, but So it's kind of funny that I do this wicked shit and,
Right. So this is completely off the topic, but how many people did you know that had like sister wives and multiple wives? Or is it that not
it's
very
funny
common?
that I didn't know any until recently, like the last 10 years. My next door neighbors, literally, there's two wives.
Yeah.
One lives diagonally from me, the other one right next door. Tons of kids. The father comes around like every couple months to like drop off groceries, and it's like very rare that he comes around. But all the kids, they're not allowed to talk to anybody. They won't talk to me. I say hi. I've been their neighbor for 10 years. They won't say crap to me. It's like, come on, guys. I've done nice things for them and still nothing.
Crazy.
But it's interesting. They have these weird get-togethers too that I wonder if maybe they're picking out, like their sons picking out wives, because like there was all girls once and it's just one dude, and I was like, oh, he's picking out a wife or wives.
Crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you remember the first time you heard hip hop?
Yeah, man. It's funny because I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, and I'd never heard like swearing in music before, and I heard NWA. My friend had an NWA cassette tape, and man, it made me feel I was Mormon at the time too. So I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to go to heaven. I felt sick in my stomach. I was like, oh. I'll tell you about the first time I heard NATAS next, but
Shit, no kidding.
that was way different. But yeah, I thought this is really kind of cool, actually. They said fuck. They said fuck the police. So yeah, I went out and got it. I had his brother pick me up a copy, and then after that I got into Ghetto Boys. I got into and then I got into 2 Live Crew. That was my favorite. I was bumping 2 Live Crew from 6th grade up, man. I just haven't stopped yet.
Everyone who was a kid when 2 Live Crew came out was bumping 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, and I started dressing, like hip hop dressing, like doing this and that. And I've always worked since then. My head's always been a little tilted to the side, but even if that's a gang thing, it's my thing. The slang, I picked up on the slang, but none of my friends understood it. They didn't get it. And it's just a part of me now, it's included in everything. I mean, my son makes fun of me because I say word instead of okay.
That's crazy. My daughter's in her 20s now, but when she was like a teenager and I would call something dope, she would always say, Dad, people don't say that anymore. She'd be all embarrassed.
I get that crap all the time, man. I'm like, well, I do.
Yeah, right. So Ghetto Boys, you mentioned, NWA, 2 Live Crew. Is there any other groups from that era that really stood out to you?
It was, I want to say NATAS already, because like that was really impactful. Esham and NATAS.
So talk about that. When you first heard Esham or NATAS or both?
It was, the first time I'm a juggalo, but not like the flamboyant juggalo, I guess you'd call it. Not me. I used to be. Yeah, the first time I heard, my point was the first time I heard Esham was on ICP's Carnival of Carnage. And me and my friend Hollow, that I used to do music with, you probably know Hollow, Jack Jonar. Yeah. We were obsessed after we heard the one Esham appearance. We were obsessed, and we got Beverly Kills, and we had Chop Chop on there, and we were obsessed with that. And more so with Esham than ICP, which was funny because like all the other juggalos we knew were like, who?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, you'll see, and they did. But after that, we went on a search for NATAS and Esham albums, which you couldn't get in Utah at the
I
time.
suppose,
It was
yeah.
like 95. It was 95, and they hadn't done the re-releases yet.
Mhm.
We got so lucky because that next year, it was like
When they
boom.
redo.
I think it was 96 or 97. All the reissued ones came
Mhm.
out. That was such a freaking blessing for us. We were just like in heaven. Like we bought all of them. Every single one of them. We were bumping it nonstop, just every single one after another. Put the next one in, man. One, in timeline order. And just huge Esham heads and suicidalists all the way.
Right.
Day oneers, like in my opinion, we're day oneers. I don't care what anyone says. Day twoers, big deal.
Right. Hey,
But and that made my stomach like turn again. I had that same feeling I did when I was a little kid.
right.
I was like, oh. And I had been doing like gangbanging bullshit and wannabe crap,
Mhm.
and that right there affected me the more so than like having guns pointed at me. I was like, oh God, no, this is gonna make me go to hell. Like gangbanging, I ain't going to hell for. I'll be forgiven for that, but not this.
Kind of like you said, when I first heard Esham on Booming Words from Hell, up to that point, I'd been listening to all the NWAs and Ghetto Boys and Ice-T's, the hardest of the hard.
Yeah.
But this was completely different. This wasn't just like
different.
gangster rap. It was like, holy shit, I can't believe he said that. And
So
you
different,
believed
yes.
him.
So awesome. Yeah, he
Yeah.
said what he's not supposed to say, and he didn't
Right.
care about that.
And
Love
another
it.
thing with Esham is you believed him when he said it. He really.
Oh yeah. I thought he was the Black Devil.
Right.
So cool though.
Yeah. So at what point did you try writing and rapping yourself? About what age?
Very poorly at the age of 14. I was writing poetry and stuff like that. I'd always been writing poetry. I'm a big fan of writing, period. I was writing short stories and I thought, I got a pretty good imagination. I really do. I was making comic books at the time and stuff like that, and reading comic books also. So I made this comic book monthly. It came out it came out weekly. I was going to say bi-weekly, but it was every week. I'd make a new issue, 10 pages.
Wow.
And my family would read it and they'd want more. So I kept it coming, And right around that time, I was trying to make my own alternative album, like Korn. I was really into Korn and Marilyn Manson and Bloodhound Gang, around the time when I was 14. And I hadn't gotten to, I was listening to NWA Steel and all that, and Two Live Crew, of course, but I wanted to mix all that together and do like something, but I didn't have any means to record. So I was using my karaoke machine, and which is actually, that's what ICP did too. And then
I did the same thing. Yep.
I think we all did that. Yep. Wanted to any way to get it out there. Right. But I made a cassette called The Sandman, and my last name's Sanders, and I was like The Sandman. So I was the Sandman, for about a year. I was making these cassettes, and I thought I was pretty good, with the rhymes and stuff. And I made one rap song, and I thought it was better than all the rock songs I was doing. And I was like, oh dang, I really like this, and my friends like it too. And a year goes by, 2 years goes by, and Hollow and Mr. Skull from the Suicide Pact, if anyone doesn't know, that was the group I was in.
Yep.
They did a song together, and Hollow was able to jump on his album, and I didn't know Mr. Skull at the time. So I hear this hip hop album one day, and I hear Mr. Skull rapping, and all of a sudden there's Hollow, and rapping poorly, might I add, just terrible. Like so was I when I first started, but I mean, like just really bad, really obnoxious, really just nasal, really loud nasal, fucking it's just terrible. And, I was so jealous, man. I just remember jealousy ate me alive. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the sin, jealousy that I'm feeling here. It's like envy. I'm envying the shit out of him. And I couldn't think. I was like, okay, well, do you think you'll let me up on track? He's like, oh, the album's done. That's what you're listening to. I was like, well, shit. I'm thinking of all these ways that I can go meet this guy and like sneak my foot in the door, and then I go, well, man, let me go meet him, and like I'll buy some weed or something. Okay, so we went over and got some weed, and I mentioned like I wanted to do some rap, and he's like, oh, we could do something one of these days. And I go, what if we start a rap group, the three of us, and do like some horror rap, like wicked shit, because he was way into Esham as well at the time, and ICP as well, and let's do it. I'd never really tried, you know, to rap besides the one track I'd done 2 years before, you know, and we did. The night Cerebus was born, it was supposed to be like Cerebrus, the three-headed hellhound, but I spelled it completely wrong, and we went with it. It was like, just whatever, man. We'll call
We
it.
meant to do it.
So we were the three-headed rap hellhound, Cerebus, the Cerebrus's brother or some shit. And we knocked out a whole album, and this was in 1999. We knocked out a whole album and some, and we're like, well, let's go like throw it around town and stuff. And the people were liars because it sucked. We had a lot of nice people though that were like, oh, that's so cool, man, I want a copy. Yeah, this is badass. And they're like, oh, shit. Gave me like, you know, a big head, and gave us all big heads. But I'm glad it did, man, because with a lot of practice and a lot of time, like I consider myself one of the dopest rappers there is. And I don't care what anyone says. Like I earned that spot.
That's the way you got to approach it. Yeah,
definitely. And you know, haven't had any complaints. But yeah, that was 99. After that we started doing all kinds of solo projects and just trying to be as controversial as possible. Just doing what everyone had already done. And that leads later on down the road. I'll tell you that story when it comes about. But basically when I left Suicide Pact, like the reason why I left was because, I'll just tell you now, like the reason that I separated from those guys was I felt like I couldn't be myself or fly free or do anything original, because all that we were, you know, Hollow wanted us, it was his group, and that was fine. It should have been our group. That was the thing I was not liking. Number two, it was like, I can't, what if I do something experimental? No, it's got to be fucking depressing or dark. And I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling dark and depressed all the time. Oh, let me do something different, man.
Right.
And, you know, he didn't like that idea. So I kind of, you know, stopped going over there and using this. I lost studio privileges, and that sucked, but I was able to get equipment after a few years. I got my studio going finally, and it's, you know, it is what it is. But I have no hard feelings towards those guys. I love Mr. Skull. I still do. I still love Hollow, but like I don't think he likes me much anymore. But that's fine. I started releasing the Suicide Pact stuff on free mixtapes, and because my stuff was too, man, I thought the joint thing, so we could do that. I guess we couldn't do that, and it kind of made him mad because I do snippets where it'd just be a snippet of my verse, and he'd be like, you cut my verse out of there. And I was like, it's a snippet, bro. It's a snippet. It's free. I'm not making money off of it.
Right.
But I think that kind of pissed him off. So I haven't talked to him for a couple of years since that, but I do plan on reaching out to the guy, you know, and
yeah, life is short. Yeah.
Life is definitely short.
So how did you come up with the name, the stage name Rekt Hearse? What's the meaning behind it?
Great story. Yes. It kind of rhymes with Fred Durst, doesn't it?
It sure does, yeah.
I was a huge Limp Bizkit fan. I won't lie. I went to one of the shows and was able to go backstage and meet Fred Durst. And what happened was he was a complete dick. I walked up to him, you know, and I was a little starstruck. I won't lie. I was a little, you know, a little hype. And like, oh, dude, man, you're so dope, and blah, blah. And he goes, calm it down, man. Get off my nuts.
Damn.
I was so embarrassed, man, in front of all his boys. They're all, I ain't got my boys with me. I'm all by myself. I'm looking pretty dumb at this point. And I started fucking busting this freestyle. I'm like, the only line I can remember is the line that matters. Is like, Fred Durst, you belong in a Rekt Hearse. And it just kept going and going. And I was like, Rekt Hearse. Oh man, I was like, thank you, buddy. I was like, you just inspired something big. And you know, he's like, get out of here. You know, I got out of there. But man, hey, he birthed Rekt Hearse.
It can be dicey sometimes meeting your heroes, because it can go
definitely
bad
I learned
sometimes.
from that, you know, but
I've been there too. Luckily, the biggest heroes I got to meet, the Ice-T's and the Run DMCs, were all mad cool. But there's other people I grew up loving, and when I interacted with them, they were the same way. They just, get the fuck out of here.
Well, me and Dice, I consider Dice one of my friends, and like he you know, I used to think I was too much around him, so I'd cool it down, you know, real quick. And then Mastamind, I've never met. Here's three of the nicest rappers I ever met: Mastamind, Dice, and freaking Frank Nitti. holy crap, are those guys down to earth and very understanding. You don't gotta explain yourself to them. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And then you got your Eshams and stuff that you kind of do, you know. But
Yeah. No, Mastermind's one of the coolest, laid back, humble, down to earth people. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, much love to Gary Reed, man, such a cool dude. Like, I did a lot of music with him too, and I'm so thankful that I was able to, because, you know, after, you know, getting into NATAS back in the day, it was Mastamind that was always my favorite, you know, and which was it was meant to be. Mastamind was the main member, but that's what Esham was trying to do. So definitely worked on me, and to this day, it's Mastamind overall, you know. Rest in peace, TNT, of course.
Absolutely.
But he didn't get to shine as much as he should have. But
yeah, we never got that solo album that was advertised a couple times. Well, I was going to bring up Mastamind because I know you did multiple tracks with him, and I've, you know, done multiple tracks with him.
What was it? What, not Day One? It was what was the name of the? There was a couple. You guys did 2 or 3 on.
We did 3 songs with him. We did one with him and Schizo, so we had Orpheus, and then we did two other ones.
It's funny, I was just listening to that the other day, like right before you hit me up about doing this interview, man. I was listening to Rearranged, and then just doing it again the other day, making a Mastamind playlist.
So you were a huge Mastamind fan, a NATAS fan. You start doing music, and you get to the point where you can do a song with someone you looked up to. What was it like that first time you got to hear your vocals and Mastamind vocals on the same track?
Historic, man. It's just like it, you know, the feeling. Like it's a good feeling. It's an accomplishment in life, like one of the check off your bucket list kind of thing. I'm about to do another check on my bucket list here in a couple of days. Actually, I'm really excited about, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But I don't even know if I'm supposed to say, but it's gonna be dope. And that would be with Insane Clown Posse. I already did it. There it is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's a pre-recorded verse, you know, but we bought it, so I feel happy about it. I don't care. Yeah, big deal. It's a legal version of an ICP song. It's cool as hell.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, it's great to get to work with people you grew up listening to. I mean,
man. The checklist is getting complete. Like, it's almost done. Like, and King Gordy was on that list. I just worked with him, sitting on a song with him, and him and Bizarre, actually. And then did the song when they were Lars, and now they're not. So it's kind of like, oh, when should I release this? When's the timing correct?
So after Suicide Pact, wasn't there a group called Homicide Pact for a minute?
Yeah, it just barely happened. My one of the guys on my record label, I own an underground record label. This guy Savage Vocab, excellent freestyle artist. That's what I call him, my freestyle artist. So good. Off the top, I cannot believe people are able to do that on the spot and not screw up. Like, that's what we do when we're writing, right? But we get in between.
Right, exactly.
He just comes up with it. It's beautiful to me. And he was an underdog who made it, you know, he's rising fast on the ladder. Anyway, he mentioned he was a big Suicide Pact fan when I first met him, and that's why he hit me up. And I thought that was really cool, you know, that he knew me from that, opposed from like knowing me from my stupidity, my skits and stuff that I've done. That's the other place I get recognized. It's like, oh, you the guy that pissed on the sidewalk? Yeah, that's me. But the fat guy from Suicide Pact, yeah. But he mentioned, dude, we should do a new group called Homicide Pact, and I kept saying no. For 2 years I said no, and that was right after I left Suicide Pact. And then like this last Halloween, he started just representing and doing himself, and I was like, you can't do that without me, man. I was like, you gotta have one of the Suicide Pact dudes in there at least. Right. It just doesn't seem right, man. You're just our knob, get out, you know. And he's like, well, let's do it then finally. And he's knocking out track after track solo. And I was like, those we're gonna call Savage Vocab tracks, and we're gonna do this the right way. And so I laid down some beats and stuff for it that Hollow would have made, like beats that Hollow would have chosen or made, and, you know, trying to pay homage to that. And we even thought about maybe getting Mr. Skull in it, but I just didn't think it was right. I thought it'd be kind of a diss towards, I hope that they don't think that. Maybe they're listening to this. It wasn't a diss. It's to pay homage to my boys. There's even a line that I resurrect in there. I say, I never would have started doing this without Hollow and Mr. Skull. And I thought that was like my way of, paying homage, paying back. And then, because it's true, my jealousy never would have happened. I would have been, never would have gone any further than my alternative cassette tape. But so we just dropped that, and it turned out okay. I wish I want to go back and remix and master it, because the guy Savage wanted to drop it right away. Let's do it now. Get it out on Thanksgiving. So we dropped it on Thanksgiving as is, and it's pretty raw, but it's still okay. I wanted to go back and redo a couple verses, and I still have all the tracks. I might just do that before we put it. I did tell them, I was like, we're not going to drop this on distro. We're not putting this on distribution. We're not distributing it to any major platforms until I mix and master the damn thing. Right. Because there's no way I'm going to have it go out as garbage. So it's on Bandcamp. And if anyone's interested, it's on Bandcamp under the Rekt Hearse Bandcamp. But with all the Suicide Packs there too. For free.
So the first time you came on my radar, you were in Suicide Pack, and this is funny because I have so many people ask me about it. So I met you through someone named Chris Bondi. Now my name is Chris Bondi.
Yeah, that's so weird, man.
And his name is Chris Bondi.
Chris Bondi.
He's the Canadian Chris Bondi.
Yeah, there you go.
It's crazy because once the other Chris Bondi was dissing Russell Cole for fucking over Dice, and he hit me up like, you want to talk shit? Why don't he's threatening me. I'm like, dude, I didn't send you any message. He thought that we were the same person because we had the same name. But anyways, so Chris Bondi met you through Chris Bondi.
That's right.
And
it's off by one letter, man.
Yeah, one letter, but it's pronounced exactly the same. It's crazy. I'm older than him, so I'm the OG Chris Bondi.
There you go.
He's number 2.
Nice one.
Or he can just be Canadian.
He was a shit talker. I stopped talking to him. He was talking mad crap behind my back the whole time I knew him. I had no idea. You can't rap. Worst rapper ever heard. You can't rap. I think he was jealous, because that's usually why people talk shit, jealousy. Mostly. He wasn't a big member of Suicide Pact, and he didn't become a rapper like he always wanted to. And he looks kind of like Freddy Krueger, so I get it.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in years either. He helped us out promoting on that last Rearranged album. That's really the last time I really talked to him, more than here and there on a Facebook post.
Yeah, I guess people have the same complaints as I do about the guy, but I won't hold grudges. Like, I try to be a good person.
So we did a track, Walk, which was a good track. I'm glad. I liked how it turned out. I was really happy with it. Out of all the artists you got to work with, whether they're underground or the big ones like Mastamind, who are your favorite 1 or 2 people that you got to collab with?
Mastamind's my favorite one I've worked with, but a lot of them are names that people wouldn't really know too much about. But like, I've met some really good people in this, and they've become like brothers to me. And I love these dudes. Like, one of them I freaking am going to adopt, and that's my partner from Canada, Arachnid. He grew up with no dad, and we always joked around about me being his father figure, but I guess he really took it to heart. I was like his father figure, because he was like 16 when I met him, and I thought he was older. And we were on the same record label that we had gotten signed to, and it was a shit record label that screwed us over. And upon screwing us over, we decided to like do it on our own. We're like, we can get an LLC and do this shit too, and we won't take money from our artists. And we didn't, and we still don't. We just want everyone to be on the same page, and we trade, things together. Like, hey, I'll do your production if you'll mix my shit and this and that, and it works out. It's good fam. But yeah, I'd say like Arachnid, and he's a cool guy, cool kid, and Blatonio Todd, Kendrick Notsta. Those, like, these are people that a lot of names that people may or may not recognize. Frank Nitti that was a good one. That was a good one to work with. I was so impressed by, he put up with my shit. and was so cool about it.
Yeah, he's
'Cause I
super
was like,
laid
we
back.
jump on this podcast my homie's doing an interview, and do you think you can hurry up with your verse on this track? Like, and I only got half the money. He's like, yeah, bet. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
I was like, are you pissed? No, man, I'll do it. I got you. I'm like, okay, cool.
You know, I'm mad impressed when people go out and start a label on their own, because it shows you have true passion. Because I did the same thing. I tried to shop a demo and get signed, and then finally I just said, fuck it, I can do it. And I did it.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Yeah, it's better to take it into your own hand. I mean, it depends if you can handle it. It definitely has
it's
its
a lot of work.
lessons, and it is a lot of work. And I couldn't do it without my partner Arachnid. But it's overwhelming, especially because I've been told by him, even he's the younger one, I've been told to slow down because I signed motherfuckers left and right. I'm like, because they got so much talent. It's hard not to when you see and you get along with them. And that's what we first look at, is like, can we get along with this guy or girl? Usually the girls we don't get along with, for some reason, somebody always pulls out their dick.
Damn.
But no,
Lost another one.
yeah, some kind of romance always ensues, and then it messes it all up. But like, that's not supposed to happen. But there's just so much talent. There's way too much talent out there. It's hard for me not to, grab them up and before someone else does. And like, the thing that's bad, I guess, about having a label is no other labels are going to be looking at you anymore.
Right.
But then again, I've had offers here and there, but I can't, I can't take these offers, even though they're really good offers. I'm like, oh, damn it. But I'm going to ride with the crew and ride with what I started. It's as hard as it is sometimes. I just got an offer from a Japanese record label, and they showed me a contract and everything. I went over this contract, and big bucks, man. And it would have been kind of cool. I'm pretty sure it would have gone big over in, Japan, but I just couldn't do that to the label. I would have brought them with me probably, but I'll sign if you take these guys too. Give them the same deal. But you learn a lot of things from it, ups and downs. There's a lot of snakes out there, man. So many fake snakes, and just I can't believe how many people have stabbed me in the back, or they stabbed me in the back before I could stab them in the back, is what it's been told to me before too. I'm like, what? That's crazy. I'm the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, the music industry is shady as hell. There's no doubt about that.
Really is. Yeah.
So shows, do you have any good crazy show stories, memories?
I have a couple, but the one that stands out the most is when I was with Suicide Pact, and it was a Halloween show, and I'm pretty overweight, dude. I was way overweight then, even more so than I am now. But I painted this pumpkin on my stomach, and I took off my shirt and had this pumpkin stomach thing, and then the show was supposed to end. We were done, and they're like, don't do it, Rekt, don't do it. And they kept saying this to me, Skull and Hollow, because I was planning on busting out a Queen song. I wanted to show them that I could do this. I can sing too, And I'm like, you guys want an encore? Everyone, yeah. I'm like, I got you. And Skull goes, oh no, I'm out of here. Skull leaves, and Hollow's looking at me, shaking his head, going, damn it, you're gonna screw it all up now. And I did it, man. I sang what's that song? It's on the tip of my tongue. The one you're thinking of, probably.
Queen? Bohemian Rhapsody? We Are the Champions?
Sir. That's it right there, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Yep. I did it word for word, the whole thing. To me, and anywhere the wind blows. And everyone's like, oh my God, got no applause. Nobody was even left in the audience. I kept going. There's like 2 people looking at me like, good for you. With your pumpkin on your stomach, you freaking weirdo. That was fun. It was crazy. I was hopped up on pills, of course, so it didn't help. Done a lot of stupid things on drugs, on stage or in the spotlight. And I used to do an interview show on Facebook, the Rekt Hearse show, in 2018. Man, I acted a fool on that. So in front of some pretty big names too, here and there, I didn't care. it is what it is. It kind of helped me.
Mhm.
It helped me a lot in my career, the path.
Right.
Crazier the better.
Hey, live in the gimmick, huh?
Yeah, sure.
So, I like to ask people who are in horrorcore or whatever you want to call it, have you ever released a song with a lyric, a line, a verse that you regret anything you said on it?
Oh yeah, there's one that's it's pretty bad. I don't know, can I say it
You
here?
can say it, yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to remember how exactly it goes, but it's on a song that's still out there, called Dropout. And it's pretty controversial. That nobody liked me when I was, or how's it go? Nobody liked me. It's just something I sing is about not being liked in school. And they're making fun of me and stuff. And I'm sure you know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I can't remember how it goes, so I'm not gonna be able to like word for word it. But
No,
yeah, I
that's fine.
basically I go to school, I'm getting sick of being made fun of, and I'm gonna make them all pay. And then I go into this chorus, which is kind of reminiscent of NATAS, pop, pop,
Mm-hmm.
pop, 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 watch them drop. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like the whole feel of it's really cool, except for the lyrics. I do regret. My son listened to it recently. He's 15 and he goes, "Damn, that's the worst song he ever made." He's like, "That one's got to go. Otherwise, you're good." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I kind of regret that one, but it's out there. I mean, I could take it down, but it would ruin the whole. I feel like it would ruin the album. You can't go back and
No.
erase it. It's already been done. It's already out there. It's been out for 2 years. It's like, oh well."
So the Salt Lake City music scene, how would you describe that? I have no idea.
A lot of juggalos, but not so many juggalo rappers.
Mm-hmm.
There's I don't want to be hated, but I'm going to tell it how it is. Like, most of the people out here are just a bunch of copycats, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got your Ice Cube dude over here, and you got your Cottonmouth Kings over here who have a name almost just like them, which I always thought was funny. It's like, we're the bud smoking royalty or something like that. It's something stupid. And they copy everyone down to a T. And I'm like, gosh. And I don't even do horrorcore as much as I used to, because I felt like I was copying people or biting, and
right.
I kind of just do my own. I swear I have my own style. It's a mix of everything you can think of. And I think that's what you're supposed to do, is just bring your favorite elements and take from them. And I still get wicked. I just put out an album that was pretty wicked. But the scene, yeah, it's kind of weird like that. And a lot of bands playing for other bands. It's hard to get like a really hype crowd. You got to have the Saturday night shows, which is probably like that everywhere. But if you don't get those weekend shows, then you might as well not do a show out here.
I'm going to ask the general hip hop questions. If you could only listen to one artist the rest of your life, who would that artist be?
Oh, can I say myself?
You can say any artist, yeah.
I say myself because I make music that I like. That's so like self-centered. Like, I don't care though, man. Let me pick one outside of myself. So,
all right.
Outside of myself, Korn, which is not hip hop. So I got to rethink that, don't I?
No, it doesn't have to be hip hop. It can be any artist.
It's gonna be Korn and myself, man. Yeah.
All right.
So, you shall not be third.
If you're on a deserted island, you can only bring 5 albums with you. What are those albums?
Oh, sweet. Okay. This will be outside of me. Let's see. Gosh, I should come prepared for that question, because I knew that might have come up. Okay. Well, Paul's Boutique, Beastie Boys. Let me go Two Live Crew. Band in the USA. It's my favorite. Or I think that was the album. Yeah, that was the album I loved. Something I can put up with, Let me think. Ice Cube, which Ice Cube was it? I think The Predator. Ice Cube, The Predator. Let's go with that. And is Ice Cube, The Predator one? Wicked.
Yep, that's Predator. Yep.
And then 2 more, I would say Mastamind. Gosh, what is that? Mind's Eye. Yeah, Mastamind, Mind's Eye. I don't care what anyone says. That's my favorite,
dope album.
the best album ever.
Yeah, I love
Even
that album.
like NATAS and Mastamind were bumping that in my group. I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
you should. And then, the last one I would say would be trying to think what I got that I listened to a lot of. I'm gonna go ahead and say one of mine. It's gonna be Formaldehyde, Rekt Hearse.
I'm gonna do this or that. I'm gonna give you two options. You got to pick the better option in your opinion.
Sweet.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that.
So we're doing albums. Esham, Kill the Fetus, or Closed Casket.
Closed Casket, man.
They're both great.
They're both really good. Those are my two favorite Esham albums. So,
Yeah.
but I look back at it, I'm like, God, Closed Casket. Even though a lot of people would say that's the more mainstream Esham album, it's so good.
No,
so
it's really
good.
They're both classics.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. Tech Nine, Angelic, or Absolute Power.
Angelic. That was my first Tech Nine album. And
Yeah, me too.
Just too classic to me.
Dice, the Neighborhood Shit Talker, or Mastermind, Liquid Drano.
Oh, that's a dirty, down low question, man. Liquid Drano, though, it's not my favorite Mastermind album, and Shit Talker's like my favorite Dice, so I'm gonna go with Shit Talker. The Neighborhood Shit Talker.
That Shit Talker album is so good.
It's a classic. Like if you had to pick out the classics, like that would be one of the classics.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love that album.
I heard you just did an interview with Dice too.
Yeah. NATAS, Blasphemy, or Do You Believe in God?
Do you believe in God?
That's my favorite NATAS album.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Blasphemy wasn't the greatest, but it still has that feel. Got that old sound, school sound. Maybe it's the audio I don't like, but
Yeah, it's not as mastered, not as clear, polished.
It'll be nice and clean. But Do You Believe in God? That's my favorite. It's so good, man. So good.
This is one I ask everyone. Dr. Dre, The Chronic, or Snoop Doggy Style?
Snoop Doggy Style. Yeah, Doggy Style for sure, man. I mean, The Chronic was okay. I never really got into Dr. Dre as much as I was into like Ice Cube and Snoop. So yeah, Snoop's Doggy Style.
ICP, Riddlebox, or Great Milenko?
Oh, Great Milenko, man.
That's a lot of people's favorite.
Is it? They admit it? Because like
a lot of people want to go earlier.
Riddlebox, no matter what. It's like, no, I don't want to.
Project Born, Born Dead, or Twisted, Most Tasteless?
Born Dead for sure, bro. I'm not a Twisted fan. I can't stand them.
You know,
they can't stand me. It's a likewise thing feeling. In fact, my friend just met them and they go, "You look familiar." And he told them who he was, and they go, "Oh." And then he goes, "Yeah, Rekt Hearse is my manager." And they go, "Yeah, you need a new manager." I have a past with them, and they can just go to hell. Fuck
That's
them.
crazy because
they pay attention to people like me. Even I'm not like the biggest in the underground, and they pay attention to me. It's like, fuck out of here. You guys are fucking retarded. What's your problem? Every story I've ever heard about them from underground artists has always been very negative. And if you're a juggalo and you're trying to take sides or whatever, pick sides, don't fucking pick sides. First of all, just listen to the music you like. Number two, they're a bunch of pieces of shit in real life. Like, don't like them as people, like their music, whatever, but like, they ain't cool dudes. Like,
how about NWA's Straight Outta Compton or West Side Connection, Bow Down?
Oh, that's good. That's a good one right there. Straight Outta Compton's really good though. I just barely been bumping that recently. So I'm gonna go with that. Straight Outta Compton.
That's a classic one.
It really is. As you can see, I'm the classics kind of guy.
Well, how about classic hood movies? Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society?
Oh man. Menace to Society is so dope, but so is Boys in the Hood, man. They both got those like very iconic scenes that really like affected me as a teenager too. Like, the drive-by scene. Well, yeah, exactly. And then quite a few scenes over here in Menace, but I gotta stick with those classics and say Boys in the Hood was the first one I saw. And it really did. It changed my life because I was a wannabe. And I saw that and I was like, I don't want that fucking shit. I don't want to do that. I don't want to live that life. That life looks like hell. Fuck all that. I'm a white boy from Utah. I need to knock the fuck off.
Right.
And I did. So yeah, that's the one I would go with. Then miss society. I've met motherfuckers like that. That one dude.
Oh
I can't
dog,
remember.
yeah. Oh dog,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've met people like that where I'm like, I'm staying clear of this guy. Like,
Right.
I ain't talking shit. I ain't gonna fuck up around him, and I ain't gonna hang with him.
So the last thing, my last little round is I'm gonna say an artist's name. You gotta tell me the first thing you think of when you hear his name, whatever it is.
All right.
Gangsta Nip.
Dope.
How about Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Cool. I don't know. I guess cool is what comes to my mind because it cools the flow, you know. But yeah,
All right, Esham.
wicked motherfucker. Yeah, the first word that comes to my mind.
It doesn't have
Or
to be
the-
word, just the first thought.
Like the first, yeah. The first thought is like Esham is the father of the wicked shit. What I was gonna say about Bone Thugs is their fans suck, but then not all of them. But I didn't want to say it, and I say it anyway.
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers, my homies, homie. Half of them homies.
Half of-
It's 1 out of 2. They're more likable. And Mr. DKB is my boy. Me and him done a lot of work together. I guess Racer doesn't do it no more, and he never liked me anyways. Long story.
Yeah, I think DKB is dope. I love his stuff.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't like me to spam him all the time. I think that I caught him in the middle of talking shit one day, and I was like, I won't do it no more, man. He's like, oh. But I forgive him, man. I was spamming the shit out of him.
Right. Brother Lynchung.
Oh man, he's the meat eater. He's different, man. Original. He's original. He definitely got his own thing going in this underground thing, and beyond the underground as well.
Project Born. Rest in peace, Half Pint. Just passed away.
Oh my God,
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died 2 days ago.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, Half Pint. He died in his sleep. Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I gotta hit up Nitty and tell him.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Wow. Yeah. Legends. Definitely legends, man. Everything they touch is legendary. But wow, that's sad, dude.
It is. Yeah, they did a New Year's show last night, opening for ICP, and they did a big dedication to Half Pint. And yeah, it was just 2 or 3 days ago. 3 days at the most it happened.
I need to definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Damn. That's really sad.
Well, now that I depressed you,
It's all good, man. I'll bounce back.
the Grave Diggers.
Grave Diggers, old school dopeness right there, but a little overrated in my opinion. Dope, but a little overrated.
Mastermind.
Oh, the Godfather. He's definitely one of the Godfathers. He's one of the pioneers of the wicked, of the underground, in my opinion. Definitely paved the way with Esham.
Besides all those classic NATAS albums, I mean, he's got tons of solo stuff, and each one is high quality.
Yes, exactly.
I mean,
even Liquid Drano, like, it stood out, with way better quality than some of the Esham stuff in the early NATAS,
Right.
But very dope. Gary's dope.
Eazy-E.
Eazy-E. Ahead of his time, man. Definitely ahead of his time, and not around enough, I hope this younger generation checks out some of these legends,
Right.
I hope they really do, and they don't sleep on it, because they're missing out on some good hip hop if they are. Definitely are. Those are the golden days,
Damn
Fucking
sure
dead.
was. Next group I got written down, and you can diss them if you want, is Rearranged.
Rearranged?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
You guys are fucking dope, man. Like I said, I was just bumping your guys' shit. I'd never really checked it out until like you hit me up about the interview. I'd listened to you guys. I got your album.
Right.
I actually got a copy. I'm lucky to have that hard copy, like that physical copy. Dope shit. Probably gonna listen to it after this. Yeah, that's a good. I don't know how many albums you guys probably got a lot because that was a 20-year.
That was the 20-year anniversary album. Yeah. 23 albums between group and solo is 23 albums. Yeah. Before I let you go, plug your pluggables. What do you got going on? Where can people get at you?
Rekt Hearse available on all major platforms: iTunes, Spotify. Bandcamp is a good place because Bandcamp you can get a bunch of them for free that you can't elsewhere. So go check out Rekt Hearse, RektHearse, YouTube, all that fun shit, man. You're dope, bro. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time out.
No problem. Right. One of the best you've been on. Peace out, bro.
Take your call. Peace.
Stature, not the tallest, but mic and palm, I'm like a great quake. Your album release push back, new jack, now that's what we call a date rape. For hip hop, all you do is shop Nike. You know, collecting checks, you should protect your neck. Cause after I throw this mitch, you can inspect the deck. And battling? No, G, you can't sustain. Pretend you the rim. No more shots at you than Kobe 81 gang. Your style flagrant, so you got no reason to complain. Get it? And yo, your chick ain't Harriet, tell me she a runway
Rearrange
slave.
my brain's play, caged in dark depression when it's time to get paid. I hit that stage with a vengeance, raping brains, no repentance for wordplay. Fuck the heavens, enraged with fake henchmen, stating my fucking aggression. Lessons played, hard to face, hating the fucking question. Suicide packs mom made in your face. With Smith and Wesson's contemplating suicide. You find me rhyming in the trenches. If you got something to say, you best keep on stepping and walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
Bringing drama to my face, you best walk away. I never was a saint, didn't fall from grace. You talk too much shit, here's a dagger for your face. Usually a patient man, it won't take long to start killing motherfuckers like a Spice One song. I never had a kill, but can't get ill, son. Claim you a thug, don't even have a squirt gun. Hit you with a frozen pizza, then know what I'll do? I'll take a pizza cutter and I'll fucking slice you.
Name's Rekt Hearse from the Suicide Pact. You best step back before you get your neck snapped. I'm a beast, I'm a freak, a feeling that's me. Step too close, you get a fist to your cheek. See, I'm that creature in the night. I'm coming for you, so get your mind right. Running that mouth out, line you in chalk. You punk motherfucker, you best take a walk. Now walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
Bringing drama to my face, you best walk away.
You need to speed up that walk, quicken it to double time. It's a hip-hop spot with 6 different clever minds. Lots of different rhymes, too many hills for you to climb. You should stay at home, kick back and recline. Just leave it to us, go to school and be sober. When your girl gets bored, just go ahead and send her over. Remember the takeover, we're still looking down. When on your own solo, didn't make a sound.
Rearrange all of your shit and rearrange your fucking face, and you can walk the fuck away and get a ball of the place. Cause the wicked shit will leave a deadly taste of the waste. Post taste leads you down a fucking path that will end in disgrace. So get up on your feet and you can keep fucking walking. And if your mouth keeps talking, in the end your rest is dropped. Because to some this may be shocking, but you should have kept on walking. Rearranging the pack, you know we got you lost. Stop it.
Walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
You better walk.
Then walk away, then walk away.
Bringing drama to my face, you best walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. walk away, walk away, walk away.